Good afternoon. How are you? Are we all fine? Just a quick one before we have a proper show later in the evening. Proper one in the evening. Yes, let me share it. We're having a proper show in the evening. This is just a quick one. What? No way. Battery is low. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching us from. Yes, this is a quick one. We all remember Dr. Olaleye of Optimal Cancer Care, ní Ikeja. Remember this doctor? Look at the doctor very well. That's the doctor there, under there. Dr. Olaleye, òun ni ó defile ọmọ àbúrò ìyàwó ẹ̀ tọ́jọ́ ń gbélé. Yeah, if you can't do the time don't do the crime. That is it. Dr. Olaleye happens to be a medical doctor. For us, for any one of us, please help us to share this short podcast because it's going to be very short. We're having the full show later in the evening. It's just because we got the news now. We said, okay, let's share it with the whole world because we're fighting against people with this character. We have a lot of them in Nigeria now. Pedophiles. They are pedophiles. They are interested in children. And that is why we'll always come as parents. I am a mother and I don't pray that any of my children go through what most of these children go through in the hands of these perpetrators. You know, these are older men that are supposed to be their fathers, the fathers to these children, but they enjoy having sexual intercourse with little children. They groom little children into this act. This doctor is a medical doctor that they said he practiced here in the UK and moved to Nigeria and had a big hospital in Nigeria in Ikeja. Anyway, last year we remember the case of Baba Ijesha. Baba Ijesha's case was the one that gave us the insight into what most of these our men do with young girls in Nigeria, and a lot of people were against Baba Ijesha. If you remember that time, were against Princess the comedian, you know, because they believe Princess the comedian and our cohorts like Iyabo, you know, made Baba Ijesha do what he did by arranging a girl for him to get him into this trap. It was a trap meant for that. Let me just use that. That was a trap. But not about it being a trap, but the fact still remains that there are men that are so much involved in this in Nigeria. And the campaign has to be loud. I thank God that today we got justice on the case of this young girl, 15-year-old girl, that has been in the custody, that has been living under this family. Mr. and Mrs. Olaleye, the man is a doctor, medical doctor, and his own wife's niece lives with them. And this man was sleeping with this girl, using her as a sex slave. Today, they got this judgment. It was taken to court last year, and it has been dragging. And today, let's hear the court hearing. They said the Lagos State's Sexual Offences and Domestic Violence sitting in Ikeja on Tuesday sentenced the medical director of Optimal Cancer Care Foundation, Dr. Olufemi Olaleye, to life imprisonment for the defilement of the wife's niece. Olaleye was arraigned on 2 counts which bordered on defilement and sexual assault by penetration of his wife's niece, preferred against him by the Lagos State government. Justice Raham Oshodi sentenced him after he found him guilty of the offences of defilement and sexual penetration of a 15-year-old girl. The judge held that the prosecution was able to prove its case beyond reasonable doubt and that all the evidence before the court corroborated that of the victim. Olaleye was accused of unlawful having sexual intercourse with his wife's 15-year-old niece. He was also accused of sexually assaulting the teenager by penetrating her mouth with his penis. During the trial, the convict's wife, Aderemi Olaleye, told the court that her husband had been sexually abusing her niece during her stay with them. She also testified that the convict first introduced pornography and other sex to the victim, and he released sperm in her mouth, stating that it started from March 2020 to July 2021. The witness narrated to Justice Oshodi that the girl confessed to a relative and their driver, and that the doctor had been sleeping with her and threatened to kill her and witness if she told anybody. The mother of two, who is the complainant, said on oath, "My Lord, on November 27th, 2021, my second cousin told my auntie, who is my mother's sister, that since March 2020, Femi has been sexually abusing her and introduced her to pornography. From there, he gradually to oral sex with her, and he does this in different places in the home where there are no cameras." We remember last year when this case came on board, Dr. Olaleye's wife was the one that took the case to the police. And yeah, we remember Jos Dayton and Murayo Brown of Our View. Everybody said, they were trying to cover up for Dr. Olaleye because Murayo Brown had a show which they called in the wife, the complainant, and she was talking, and Jos Dayton called in to the show and was trying to manipulate things. They believe she was trying to manipulate things, and they were accused of trying to cover up for this doctor. But unfortunately, we bless God today that, fortunately, let's use the word, fortunately, today we have seen this case. Yes, the accusation was that since that girl moved into their house, they didn't know anything, and the doctor was gradually introducing her to pornography. How many of your husbands do this with your house helps at home? And we are quick to cover them up, especially we in Nigeria. We are quick to cover our husbands up because we want to say, yes, he's a perfect husband. We don't want people to know what's going on. What kind of stigma is it going to give us in the family? Once you cannot speak out, you are destroying lives of young girls in Nigeria. Your nieces are living with you underage, your husbands are sleeping with them, and you're keeping that as a secret. And you say, yes, we know how to. Do you know how many of them they have even aborted for? Because you don't want your family's name to be in the mud. But you have forgotten that you are destroying people's lives. I've said it, these men that have this sickness, because it is sickness. It is a mental health issue that they are only aroused to young children, to babies. Do you know how many defilers we have in Nigeria? Every day, go to the news, you will see one father sleeping with his own child. He will say, Eshuni. Dr. Olaleye was having it passe with this young girl at home, especially when the wife goes out to work. This is a medical doctor that should know better. Do not forget that this man has history of this thing, according to the wife. He was once married here in the UK. The wife of his former wife too, they said she took every property from him and sent him out because she found out that he was trying to sleep with the wife's niece too. So everyone that has been clamoring for justice for Baba Ijesha, justice for people that they have done this thing. I've said it, if Baba Ijesha was not in that habit of sleeping with young children, he would not fall for that trap. Never. He fell for the trap because he has been doing it for a very long time. And he should thank God that he has how many years? 5 or 6 years that he was given, or 9, I don't know how many years he was given. This one is a life sentence. Dr. Olaleye will spend the rest of his life in prison. Fàájì ìṣẹ́jú márùn-ún, 10 minutes enjoyment, pátápátá. See how he has destroyed his career as a medical doctor. Of course, although they said he's a fake medical doctor, but that's what he portrays himself to be. Maybe we wouldn't have even known his status about his profession if he had not done what he did. And his yansh has been open to the whole world. Now, àṣírí ti tú, wọ́n ti sentence Dr. Olaleye sí life imprisonment. Ẹ wo bó ṣe gradually introduce ọmọ ọlọ́mọ to sexual intercourse, 15-year-old child, ọmọ tóun náà lè bí nínú. Ọmọ tó lè bí nínú ni ọmọ 15-year-old. Ó wá mú, ó kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ó fi fọ́tò ó fi fídíò, àkọ́kọ́ máa fi fídíò hàn, fídíò bí tọkùnrin àti obìnrin ti ń bára wọn sùn, bó ṣe máa introduce àwọn ọmọ ọlọ́mọ sí nǹkan burúkú nìyẹn o. Ẹ̀yin òbí ẹ dìde ẹ̀yin òbí gidi. Wọ́n máa introduce àwọn ọmọ yín, wọ́n máa show fíìmù bó ṣe ń bára wọn sùn sí wọn. Tó bá yá, according to the wife, ó nígbà tó yá ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń fi okó ẹ̀ ó ń fi sọ́mọ yẹn lẹ́nu, ó jẹ́ kó máa practice oral sex pẹ̀lú òun. Ó ń kí kíní ẹ̀ bọ ọmọ kékeré ọmọ 15 years lẹ́nu pé kó máa mú okó òun. After tó yá, ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń tì í bọ̀ gangan, ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń bá ọmọ yẹn sùn. Ọmọ ò lè sọ fún àǹtí ẹ̀ nínú ilé, ó pe ẹ̀gbọ́n àǹtí ẹ̀ kan, ó ló sọ fún, ẹbí ló tún sọ fún. Ó dẹ̀ sọ pé á gbé ọmọ yẹn lọ síbi tí ò sí kámẹ́rà, bí ilé wọn ṣe fáìn tó ní ibi alẹ́kẹ́ àbí nǹkan kan. Á gbé ọmọ yẹn lọ síbi tí ò sí kámẹ́rà ń bẹ, because most of these houses, like I said on my program yesterday, most of these houses have CCTV camera. But ó ti target àwọn ibi tí ò ní CCTV camera, á gbé ọmọ yẹn sí, á máa bá a sùn. Agboke Rafiat, God bless you, ma. No, we are doing the program in the evening. It's just a quick one. The doctor, you remember Dr. Olaleye, he's been sentenced to life imprisonment. So Anika sáré ṣe breaking news. The doctor has been sentenced to life imprisonment for defiling a 15-year-old niece of his wife. Àbúrò ìyàwó ẹ̀ ló defile, ló rape. Àwọn wèrè tó kún díta, ọkùnrin tó bá ti lè bá ọ̀rẹ́ ìyàwó ẹ̀ tó tiẹ̀ bá sùn náà ó síkì, ká má ṣe sọ ọmọ ìyàwó ẹ̀, àbúrò ìyàwó ẹ̀. So many of them in Nigeria ló ń ṣe. Wọ́n á bọ́mọ ọ̀dọ̀ sùn, wọ́n á fọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ lóyún. Ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni. This is the beginning of ruin for you. Let's meet tonight, lágbára Ọlọ́run, 10 o'clock UK time. We shall meet and talk about trending news. We'll talk about trending news. We'll talk about prevailing issues. This is a prevailing issue, it's a big one. Dr. Olaleye and all his cohorts like that will go to life imprisonment. Wọ́n máa kú sẹ́wọ̀n ni. Gbogbo ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá ti lóun máa bá àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké sùn, òun máa bá yí ọmọ ọlọ́mọ jẹ́, òun ò ní jẹ́ káwọn ọlọ́mọ jèrè àwọn ọmọ wọn. Gbogbo ẹni tó jẹ́ pé destiny destroyers, wọ́n máa jèrè iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ wọn ni. Bóyá eléyà kọ́ àwọn tó kù lọ́gbọ́n, tí wọ́n jẹ́ pé kò sí àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké ló máa ń wù wọ́n kọ́ bá sùn. Wọ́n á tètè lọ find help. Mo ti sọ, wọ́n ò nídìí kíní, wọ́n nídìí help because wọ́n ti ya wèrè ló ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. I will see you later in the evening. Help me to share the news. Of course, we don't pray for people's downfall, but let them pay for their sins. Wọ́n ní ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀ kan kò ní lọ láì jìyà. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀ líle kò dùn mọ́ wa nínú pé ó máa lo the rest of his life nínú ẹ̀wọ̀n. Ṣùgbọ́n kò sẹ́ni tó bá ṣe tí ò ní jẹ́ ìyà ẹ̀. Yes, he has to serve his term. Thank you very much. I'll see you later in the evening. Help me to share the news. Bye.